Hey everyone! So it's July. I'm a little behind on our Marching Man Corner video, so I figured it was a time to get one out to you. So I've gotten a few emails this week about copyright questions. So I just looking around on the website, it looks like we're a little ahead of last year as far as people that have submitted all the documentation. Obviously, I'm not the one that handles vetting that. We have a vendor that handles that, and they start working in July. So if you've reached out to me or been concerned because you uploaded it weeks ago, maybe even back in May, and wondering why it hasn't been approved, there's been no feedback, you should start getting some information probably this week or next week. And of course, the deadline for that is August 7th. So hopefully you've got all your ducks in a row, so to speak, and just need to upload that information. And if you already have, awesome. OSU released their list of bands that were selected for the Buckeye Invitational. That came out earlier this week. So I would assume if you registered, you would know now your status, whether you were selected or not. Keep in mind, if you registered and were not selected, there's no need to go in and cancel that registration. We handle that completely on our own. And since there was no fee this year at the point of registration for OSU, there's no refunds that will need to be scheduled. So obviously, if you were selected for OSU, they'll be contacting you about payment procedures on that because they have their own separate fee. And of course, the $25 OMIA fee is rolled into that. On the subject of other events, of course, the schedule is pretty full at this point. I think most people have registered for their events. If you haven't, you probably want to get that done pretty soon. There's several events that are already closed, of course. Keep in mind that we started this last year. Now there's no penalty for performing a show under time in weeks 1, 2, and 3. So if you've maybe for a long time or maybe recently been kind of hesitant to go out early in the season just because you feel like your kids aren't quite ready to put on enough of the show to get past that 6-minute line, remember, now there's no penalty for that. So you can go out, play a 4-minute show, 5-minute show, whatever your level your kids are at there, week 1, week 2, week 3. Get full commentary, get full score with no penalty, no rating deduction, and get some great feedback maybe early in the season. So if you haven't already thought about that, keep that in mind. We had quite a few bands take that option last year, and I think it was a very good thing for them and for the activity as a whole. Also on the subject of early season stuff, remember weeks 1 through 4, there's now going to be a critique at every event. And you probably noticed when you registered that there was a little drop-down menu asking you what your intention was as far as the critique option for those events. Maybe you checked yes, maybe you checked no, maybe you checked maybe. Your event share will be reaching out to you regardless of what you checked in that box. They'll be reaching out to all participants for every event just to confirm yes, you're coming, or just offer that again if maybe you checked no or checked maybe. And again, I'm really excited about expanding our critique dramatically this year. We spent a lot of time the last 3 summer sessions talking about it with our adjudicators, answering questions and trying to respond to concerns that we got from the membership from directors. If you were at the open forum back at the conference, we had a really good discussion about what we're doing well when it comes to critique and also stuff that we aren't doing as well as we want. So we talked a lot about that with our adjudicators, and we're hoping that everybody who goes to critique this year will find some benefit of it, and it's a work in progress. We want to be better every year as we go about this. Speaking of improvements and changes, the new GE sheet has been released. Our adjudicators spent the last month in summer sessions training on it. It's attached to the email I sent out with this video, so you can check that out. And also stay tuned in the next few weeks for a video from Steve Aylward, our our general effect caption head, kind of breaking down the new verbiage. Anytime we change a sheet, it's not with the goal of making the content or making the standard harder. It's simply an attempt to update our verbiage, make it more useful as a tool for adjudicators when they're evaluating bands, and obviously make it more useful as a tool for you as the end user, so to speak, as you get that feedback. So there might be some terminology on there you're not familiar with. There may be some terms from the old sheet that have disappeared and you're not sure what the new term or what term took over that place, so to speak. And that's what Steve's video will be all about, to kind of break that down. So I think that covers everything. As always, if you have any questions for me, reach out. The only deadline coming up would be that August 7th deadline for copyright. So please strive to get everything in by that date, especially if you're performing early in the season. And good luck with your July rehearsals, and I'll see you next month.